Yo, what is up, guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back yet again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys. And like I said, we are going to start 2024 with a bang. And it seems like all these reviews from the start of 2024 were all these really much awaited reviews from the channel. And I got one for you guys on this lovely day off. I got the latest Tom Ford in the mix, guys. I'm sure you guys and gals are excited to hear what I have to say about it. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys, okay? Liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel. Guys, we are headed towards 20K. We're almost halfway right there. So please support the channel if you love the videos. Please share them to your friends, your family members, anybody that's into perfume, guys. And that's more than enough for me, guys, okay? So thank you so much for your support. And the fragrance we'll be talking about today is none other than the infamous Tom Ford Vanilla Sex. Yes, Vanilla Sex by Tom Ford. I mean, ever since I heard about this fragrance, I saw the name up there in the Fragrantica upcoming list, I got hella excited. I really wanted to get a sample of this as soon as possible. And obviously, this fragrance is mad expensive. It's super expensive, matter of fact. And so there are going to be a lot of questions that are going to be had about this fragrance. A lot of perfume lovers really want to know what the bottom line is when it comes to Tom Ford's Vanilla Sex. This fragrance is one that has a spotlight note. I've used this term many times in the past, guys. In this case, it's vanilla. Vanilla is the spotlight note of this fragrance right here. Now, when you put something like that as a spotlight note, a well-beloved note such as vanilla, and then you add a raunchy word such as sex, guaranteed you are going to get some mixed expectations, some high expectations in the community, as well as some very mixed reactions once the perfume comes out. Interestingly, this is a hyped fragrance. The hype meter on this fragrance is pretty high, but if you look at some reviews, some written reviews about this fragrance, some people are hating on this fragrance, hating hard about this fragrance, saying that this fragrance is dizzying. They want to vomit once they smell this fragrance. And, you know, like I said, it's going to be a mixed bag because you put a spotlight note out there, guys, such as vanilla, a well-beloved note. And the thing about vanilla, one thing about vanilla is that vanilla is accessible even as a cheap thing. You get a cheap cologne or a cheap perfume that has vanilla, or you put vanilla candles around your house like how we do here in my house. I mean, that's it. You get your vanilla fix. And so with these prices commanded by Tom Ford, what is this going to be like? And again, because it's a spotlight note, you are going to have people that are going to want vanilla as an actual spotlight note. And then you're going to have people like me that have smelled vanilla over and over in tons of fragrances. And we're like, what's so different this time? What is the twist in Vanilla Sex that makes it Vanilla Sex? And it's not just going to be some standard vanilla fragrance, because that would suck, okay? So anyways, that's what we'll talk about right here. Can't wait to give you guys my results. Let's go spray this thing right now. Ooh. Okay, guys, now let's talk about Tom Ford's Vanilla Sex, guys, okay? Right in this real impactful opening. And let me tell you guys that this actually answered a lot of my questions. The first whiff of Vanilla Sex answered a lot of my questions regarding this fragrance, because I wanted to know what was so sensual about Vanilla Sex that they chose that word to add to the vanilla. And the thing about it, if you look at the literature of this fragrance, you'll see that they categorize this, Tom Ford categorized this fragrance as a ambery fragrance. And what that means, if you look at an ambery fragrance, is that it's going to be an immediate curve. It's going to be some sort of gradient type of perfume, sensual to begin with. And in my opinion, that's what this Vanilla Sex is from the get-go. On the top notes on paper, it says bitter almond, and you will get a slightly lactonic bitter almond right here, slightly nutty. But in my opinion, they also placed some resins and spices here in the beginning of Vanilla Sex that isn't on the notes, because from the get-go, you get that immediate curve. You get these sweet spices, some resins, as well as that bitter almond that sets up that sexual, sensual gradient undertone that vanilla sex is all about. And in my opinion, the bottle is misleading. They shouldn't have made it a white, cream colored bottle. I mean, of course, it's vanilla, guys. But because it starts off with a gradient, it should have been, in my opinion, like a brown or a hue that's sort of the same as Mermestir, because it's kind of like that, guys, okay? And it is a gradient from the get-go. It does get pretty aromatic with a scent trail. And so right from the get-go, that's what you're going to get, guys. You're going to get this bitter almond with some resins and some spices. Now, for those that are expecting when the vanilla will come in, because again, like I said, there are going to be people that are going to expect vanilla to show up as the spotlight note. Don't you worry, because the vanilla starts off, I would say, 5 minutes into this fragrance and really booms at the 10-minute mark of this fragrance, guys. Okay, so 10 minutes, you've got this full-on vanilla, and there is kind of like this balance as that happens, guys, because you're gonna get that vanilla tincture from India that, to me, guys, smells very similar to like Madagascar vanilla. Like Madagascar vanilla is like one of the top level like vanilla notes out there. I would say that the vanilla here in Vanilla Sex is pretty much the same. It's got this like creamy, high quality vanilla that's not too sweet, but is also mass appealing. It's enough to be mass appealing. And then that vanilla actually balances out the first part of this fragrance. Again, 5 minutes in, 10 minutes, it's a boom. You're gonna get the spotlight for sure. Now, what about that sensual, bitter almond, resin, spicy intro, guys? Okay, what about that? Well, yeah, like I said, it's still gonna be there. 10 minutes in, it's still gonna be there, and it's gonna, sort of swirl around with that high quality vanilla, guys. But like I said, I mean, it's kind of weaker at that point. I mean, like I said, I feel like Tom Ford really tried to do a balancing act here by introducing the sex aspect of this fragrance, real sensual in the beginning, real gradient with some spices, and then they still got to give you that vanilla. So the vanilla, like I said, becomes really strong, overpowers that sensual beginning, and it becomes truly, truly the spotlight note of this fragrance. And so if you're into vanilla as the spotlight, don't worry, guys, it's going to be here, and it's going to be in heap loads. Now, let's talk about the initial sillage and projection of this fragrance. I'm going to say here that this one is an aura scent. I mean, just on 5 sprays, actually, there's enough to create a very powerful scent trail that will follow you everywhere you go. And when it comes to the complement factor, this fragrance comes with the same complement factor that you're going to get with other vanilla scents. But like I said, there is that beautiful draw-in aspect from the bitter almond, from the little resins and some spices in there, that ambery part in the beginning of this fragrance that is also a draw-in as well. So I like the fact that this is strong, it's projecting, it's got a scent trail of luscious vanilla, but at the same time, for those that are interested in attracting somebody else and drawing somebody in with this fragrance, that's precisely what the top notes do as well. Now, here's a question that some of y'all are probably asking. What is the coverage of this beautiful Madagascar-like or Madagascar vanilla-like vanilla tincture last? So in my testing of this fragrance, this lasted up to 6 hours. Okay, 6 hours of that almost pure vanilla, like Madagascar quality vanilla tincture. Again, with a swirling ambery part, that bitter almond ambery part, kind of like first 10 minutes all the way up to maybe 2 to 3 hours. And then the vanilla just booms out there, guys, okay? So again, for those that are looking for vanilla, you're going to get nothing but the highest quality vanilla. Again, with just a beautiful sensual gradient in the beginning that then becomes a vanilla boom. That's going to be really, really good. Again, high quality. I don't understand why people are hating on this vanilla, because this is some high quality vanilla up to 6 hours. Now, 5 to 6 hours in, Tom Ford pulls off yet again a beautiful balancing act, because after they give you that beautiful dose of spotlight vanilla, they go back into what made this fragrance Vanilla Sex to begin with, which is going to be a curve, another gradient. 6 hours in, or 5 to 6 hours into this fragrance, guys, you've got the appearance of tonka bean. Tonka bean is the curve note that comes in during the dry down, And that is pretty much what curves this fragrance into another tangent. And so again, you're getting your vanilla, okay? No complaints about that. High quality. And then tonka bean. And tonka bean does give off a little bit of a kind of like a chocolatey vibe when mixed with that vanilla. Some spicy chocolatey vibe, a curve vibe, kind of gourmand when mixed with that vanilla. And it smells really great. It signals that vanilla sex. Spicy yet again, spicy tonka bean, praline type of ending with Tom Ford Vanilla Sex. So again, you go in with a sensual gradient and then vanilla and then a sensual gradient towards the end, care of that tonka bean. And to add to that, you've also got some high quality sandalwood to go with that tonka bean, guys. And the sandalwood right here definitely is high quality, creamy sandalwood, guys. So for you guys and gals that love sandalwood, you will get a huge dose here to mix in with that tonka bean and eventually that vanilla absolute, that ultra vanilla, guys. And so it is a wonderful kind of meditative sandalwood part with a little bit of that contrast, the tonka bean contrast here in the end. And let's talk about that ultra vanilla, guys. Okay, so ultra vanilla is like this molecule or note that is kind of like trademarked or copyrighted. And I feel like this is the way that Tom Ford pretty much justifies their prices. I noticed that when I reviewed Mer Mystere not too long ago, guys, and I noticed that Tom Ford went with this company called Or Pour that provides like the highest quality notes or ingredients on fragrances. If you look at Mer Mystere, I think they put in like 3 types of myrrh in there. And I can say that for me, it was like absolutely high quality, high grade type of Or Pour notes. And it seems like they're doing it yet again here. And this is kind of like the traditional reasoning of why some expensive niche houses can command those prices, because they can always say, well, look, the jasmine here comes from grass. The oud right here is super exotic and hard to find. The rose is some Bulgarian rose or some centifolia rose that can only be found in a certain place of Turkey. I mean, definitely that's where Tom Ford is heading to really justify their prices. Now, Ultra Vanilla here is about performance, okay? Because if we look at the quality of the vanilla, it's already here. You already get the best quality of vanilla tincture in the beginning and the mid of this fragrance. But the Ultra Vanilla part is all about performance. Ultra Vanilla on paper, if you look at the explanation of Ultra Vanilla, it's there to boost the performance and the longevity of the fragrance, guys. And it is right there in the base notes, guys, as it goes with the sandalwood and tonka bean combo, guys. And I gotta say, Ultra Vanilla did its job with this fragrance, guys. Okay, why? Because the thing about this fragrance, Vanilla Sex, is that you will get it at a real constant lingering scent even at the latter hours of this fragrance, guys. And to compare it simply, it's almost like you're still at the mid of a fragrance, but in fact, you're actually like 15 hours plus already wearing this fragrance. It's already been like 15 hours, but it feels like the mid of just any other fragrance that you've tried. So that is how consistent and how powerful that Ultra Vanilla is. I wouldn't say it's about really the projection, but it's about creating a consistent lingering scent that lasts hours and hours, guys. And actually, total performance, guys, I mean, way over 15 hours. I had to take a shower already. I was like, oh, it's too long. We're already past 15 hours. I got to take a shower. But 100%, 15 hours with a constant lingering scent, almost like a mid part of another fragrance. Ultra Vanilla. I got to say, Tom Ford really did the research and they said, okay, you want to talk about longevity? We'll give it to you guys. And so you'll definitely get a consistent lingering vanilla that goes all the way up to past the 15-hour mark. So what a beautiful ending to this fragrance. Also sexy, also draw-in. And so I would say that Tom Ford kind of did this beautiful balancing act on Vanilla Sex. Now, in my opinion, this fragrance is unisex, but slightly femme-leaning. Okay, that is my opinion on that. And that's because, yes, there are these real sensual parts that a man can actually wear. No problem, resin, spices, as well as tonka bean. But, of course, the vanilla spotlight note I mean, that's kind of femme leaning to me. Okay, and that's again 6 hour coverage of vanilla tincture from India. 6 hours of that, and it's pretty femme leaning. But again, if you're in it for the compliments though, even as a man, and you don't care about femme leaning fragrances, you like unisex fragrances, in my opinion, this is a very powerful compliment getter in the game. Now, weather-wise, this performs great on the cold weather, let me tell you that, guys. And we do have these 38-degree mornings here in Southern California. It's of course not as cold as other places such as Canada, but this fragrance really does perform. It has enough resin spices. It does have that tonka bean, guys, which are your classic curved notes for the fall winter. And also the vanilla is not weak at all. So you got a strong vanilla that will cut through the biting cold, comforting as well, guys. So it's great for the fall winter season. Based on trying this fragrance multiple times and looking at the feedback out there, I feel like some people that have some violent reactions towards this fragrance really just expected mostly vanilla, which is not gonna fly when there are high stakes like this, such as releasing a new Tom Ford. They're gonna give you like a standard vanilla, okay? But they do give you a beautiful spotlight vanilla. So that isn't gonna go away, you're gonna get that. But also it's not gonna be your standard vanilla like mass appealing scent, because you can again get that for cheaps anywhere else. So here they made sure that you will still get some curve, some gradient, some spicy notes, some tonka bean to really reiterate the sex part, the draw in, gradient, romantic, sensual part of this fragrance, while, like I said, still trying to satisfy a lot of people. So I think Tom Ford did a pretty good job with this. Now, a question right here that a lot of y'all are probably asking is that, is this worth it? Is this worth it as a full bottle with the prices that Tom Ford is asking of vanilla sex? In my opinion, first and foremost, this is a really good standalone vanilla scent. So I don't think this is going to impact so much like vanilla lovers that do collect a lot of vanilla scents. I know there are ladies out there that do this. I don't know about guys. I think that it might make a dent, but for me, this is a standalone scent, meaning if you don't have a lot of vanilla scents to begin with, you could definitely start off with this and you will, get a really good standalone scent, full bottle worthy in my opinion, guys. And definitely high quality everything on the notes. So definitely you're getting, what you're paying for, guys. And if you're mad that you can't afford this, then just get a smaller sample for Christ's sakes, okay? If you're mad about that, guys, you don't have to give some violent reactions just because you couldn't really afford it. So you can always get a sample, a 5 ml, a 10 ml, and I'm pretty sure they're going to clone this eventually, guys. So you can go that route as well, guys. But there's no reason to be mad about Tom Ford, putting in their prices like that because they're Tom Ford, okay? If you look at their clothing and their shoes, they're way over most people's budgets anyways, guys, okay? So if you want to get in the game, you want to collect Tom Ford, the real Tom Ford, then go ahead, guys. Just make sure you're not mad about the price, okay? And again, I feel like Tom Ford with the Orpur, with the Ultra Vano, they're definitely going with, hey, we're putting in high quality ingredients right here, guys. So definitely this is something that's in Tom Ford's Vanilla Sex, guys, okay? So that is it. That is my review of Tom Ford's Vanilla Sex, my no hype review. Let me know what you think of this fragrance after trying it. If you guys actually tried it, I want to know what your feedback is, if it's as atrocious as some of the other initial comments on this scent. I mean, I feel like some people that review them on Fragrantica, they haven't even smelled the scent and they're already saying bad things. Okay, so I don't know. To me, it's vanilla and sex in a bottle. Yes, it's very balanced. It's a tough balancing act by Tom Ford, but I think they pulled it off nicely, guys. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think. And again, we are headed towards 20K. Please support the channel, guys. If you want to join my 20K giveaway, all you got to do is add my Instagram for now, TroyD247, and say hi to me, drop a hi or hello, or tell me what your fragrances are that you enjoy. Let's have a chat out there, guys, okay? So please make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next video, man. I'm excited about the next playlist because we've got a lot more, guys, okay? I'll see you guys. Peace.